Hi everyone, it's me again. I'm Lena and I'm from the Healthcare Landscape Group. In this video, I'll be talking about my first DE, which is on the topic of my progress week 107. Now in this video, as usual, I'll be following my detailed plan and talking about my 5 main parts, which is firstly, what have I learned? The second part is about the intentions that I've made for myself this week. The third part is about the improvements that I have made. The fourth part are the discussions that I have in the meeting, and finally for the fifth part I'll be talking about the work plan for next week. So let's get started on my first part, which is what have I learned? Well, last week we covered about the topic of evidence-based models. So I talked about evidence-based models and evidence-based practice in patient care. So those are the things that I have learned in the last week. Moving on are the intentions that I have made for myself this week. Well, for this week, I think that I need to achieve 2 main things, which is firstly, I need to send in my feedback, and the second part is I need to bring Mrs. Pratt messages into the meeting and discuss it with Kennedy. So those are the 2 main intentions that I have for this week to achieve. Moving on to the next part is the improvements that I think that I have made over the last week. Well, last week, and I mean this week, before the meeting, I have sent in the meeting plan and I have discussed deeply into the topic. I have delved deep into the topic on EBP, or evidence-based practice in patient care, and I think that overall, my work was decent over the last week. So those are the improvements that I think that I have made over the past week. Next are the discussions that we had in the meeting of week 106, which is just today. Me and Kennedy talked about 2 main parts. We focused on 2 main areas, which is self-reflection, and also the main work. So for the self-reflection part, we basically just reviewed our intentions, we shared our intentions and the improvements that we have with each other. So those are things that we talked about for the self-reflection. After that, we gave feedback on each other's works. Specifically me, I gave Kennedy her feedback on her work. So those are the things that we talked about in the first part of self-reflection. For the third part is the main work, where we reviewed a little bit about our work, the main work about EBP and EBM. So basically I asked Kennedy some questions to test her understanding of the topic, and she asked me a few questions as well. Afterwards, we each took turns giving out a presentation, and then giving feedback on each other's presentation and performance. So after that, we just discussed the works for next week. Speaking of which, the work plan for next week is firstly, the DE1 is the progress week 107. The D2 and the main work will be on the main work, and the D2 will be on the IV fluid and medication drip rates for children. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the 421 rule, and also we're going to talk about some examples, some medication examples, and also what is IV fluid and the medication drips for children as well. So those are all the things that I have to say for this video. I hope that you learned something new from this video, or just review some of the things that you have learned. Thank you again for listening to my video. I appreciate your time and attention, and I hope to see you soon. Goodbye!